photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president owner fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Remember the old arcade? Blew every dollar that we ever made. The cops seen us hanging out. They say somebody went and burned it down. We used to listen to the radio and sing along with every song we know. We said someday we'd find out how it feels to sing to more than just the steering wheel. Kim's the first girl I kissed. I was so nervous that I nearly missed. She's had a couple of kids since then. I haven't seen her since God knows when. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. I miss that town. I miss the faces. You can't erase. You can't replace it. I miss it now. I can't believe it. So hard to stay. Too hard to leave it. I could relive those days. I know the one thing that would never change. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Every time I do, it makes me.
Mr. D, we've known each other a long time. In fact, you were my social studies teacher at Deer Creek in 8th grade, and I believe you've either coached or taught most of my family. So on behalf of my family, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me today and answer a few questions with your upcoming retirement in June on the horizon.
Well, it's been my pleasure, and the reason I've been at Columbine for such a long period of time, getting to work with wonderful families like the Shiptons family and the Spahn family and the Wilmot family. Nothing but fond memories, and I'm so proud not only what you accomplished when you were at Columbine High School, but what you accomplished later. And I was so honored and humbled to be at your weddings and to hear that you have children and now they're doing well, and everyone's getting old but me. But all the families, all of your family members will always have a special place in my heart, and the support that you've given me during my career, I'm eternally blessed. So thank you.
Thank you. You've been at Columbine for 35 years in many different roles. You've been teacher, coach, athletic director, dean of students, vice principal, and now principal for 18 years. What is it about Columbine and the Columbine community that's kept you here for all this time?
So why have I been here for 35 years? Columbine High School is a family. It's my second home. I came to Columbine in 1979 when I was 24 years old. And originally, I didn't pursue a career in education. When I left high school in 1972, I thought I wanted to be an accountant. And I took my general studies and I started working towards my degree in accounting. And I was in some cost accounting classes. And the professor was saying, you've got to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. We're going to have discussions. And I said, I don't think we are, because this isn't something I want to do the rest of my life. And so I actually quit school and went to work in a grocery store. And I started thinking about all the wonderful experiences I had at school, middle school, and in high school. And one particular teacher, Mr. Dittman, was my psychology teacher, and he was my baseball coach. And he had such a positive impact on me. And I said, gosh, how good would it be to have that impact on students? Because you have that opportunity every day. And so I went back and got my teaching degree. And, an uncle said, make sure when you make a decision on careers that you want to choose, or whatever you choose in life, choose something you love, and you never have to work a day in your life. And boy, was that sound advice. 35 years at Columbine, and there's not a day that I don't want to be here. I love being here. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I go walk into classrooms or walk in the hallway or go to a baseball game or go to a play. And it just reaffirms a decision I made back in 1975 to get into education.
That's awesome. Looking back on your years at Columbine, what are some of your favorite memories from the 1980s through the early 90s?
1980s, early 90s. One of the things that was really interesting when I first started teaching at Columbine, we were on year-round. And we had students that were actually in classes on Christmas Eve day. Not many students, and New Year's Eve day. And the school actually only shut down on 4th of July and Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I can remember teaching on year-round. It was very interesting. You could tell the students and teachers that were going on break for 9 weeks and the others that were coming on, smiles and frowns both ways. But there were many things during the 80s that I enjoyed, not only teaching social studies, but opportunity to be involved. I sponsored various classes. I did crazy things back then, and I still do. Even being old now, I still do crazy things. But I think that's the thing that allowed me to get close to the kids. One particular time, the students came up and asked me to shave my chest in order to raise money for the junior senior prom, and I never thought they would raise $2,000, and they did. And so I had to get in front of the student body and shave my chest. But those are fond memories. And then one of the things that I'll always cherish is I had an opportunity to coach football, and then I was a head baseball coach. And we won 2 state championships in 1987 and then again in 1991. And many of the players that played for me were also my students, but we still remain friends. And those were special days. I've had kids that went on to play collegiately, and one in particular won a national championship at Wichita State. And he said he played a little bit professionally, but he said some of the fondest memories was that team in 1987 or 1991. And one of the best teams I had was actually in 1984. And unfortunately, we didn't make the state championship, but that was probably the best team. And 9 or 10 of those guys went on to play college ball. And it's just great. And what makes me proud is not only what they did, what they were when in high school, but they're great fathers now, great husbands, and they went on to do great things. So it just makes me feel like a proud dad.
With your upcoming retirement on the horizon, do you have any parting thoughts you'd like to share with the Columbine community?
June 20th is my last day. I think back to when I first came to Columbine in October '79, and here we are, fast forward 35 years later, and it's bittersweet. This place has provided so many fond memories, and I just am so grateful for all the support that I've had over the year by the students and the staff members and the community members and parents. This Columbine community is special, and that's the reason I stayed. And as I get ready to leave, I'm going to miss it. I mean, you don't do this every day of your life and then all of a sudden walk away without missing it. And at the beginning of this year, when I announced my retirement, I was really struggling and thought having some health issues. So I went in for a physical, and the doctor said, health-wise, you're doing well, but you talk to your counselor. And I went to my counselor, and he stated, your head is telling you you're going to retire, but your heart and soul has not accepted that yet. And he talked me through some things, saying, you have been able to help people, and you've given, and your expertise, because of some of the experiences you've had, have allowed you to share some of your knowledge. And he said, you've isolated that to the Columbine area, but now you're going to have an opportunity to expand your experience and knowledge with others. And I'll have those opportunities. When he talked me through it, basically what I'm going to be able to do is do what I've been doing at Columbine on a larger scale. And so that helped. But the thing that I just want people to know, that I couldn't have done this by myself. I was smart enough to know that you surround yourself with good people. And that's exactly what I've done. And I can remember Mr. Mitchell telling me, he was a principal prior to me taking over. And when I became principal 18 years ago, he said, you have three groups. You have your parents, you have your students, you have your teachers. And if you're only getting along with none of one of those groups, your career is going to be short-lived. He said 2 out of 3, it'll be tough, but you can make it. But if you could have all three on the same page, believing in what you're believing, he said, you're going to have a long, successful career. And I just feel so blessed to have had the support of the teachers, the students, the staff, and community members. It's a unique community. We have community members that are still living in the houses where their kids went to school, and even though their kids have not been here for decades, they still support Columbine. And we have a saying here, once a rebel, always a rebel. And Columbine High School will always have a special place in my heart.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.